Some drivers passed with flying colors this year, and others failed pretty miserably. We're gonna have some fun today. How's it going, everybody? My name is Eric and welcome to the show. Today's Out of the Groove episode is sponsored by Amino. Amino is a mobile network of communities for every interest on the planet, and that includes NASCAR. In the Amino NASCAR community, you can engage with other fans, like me, in a variety of cool ways. They have awesome, easy-to-use chat rooms, you can take fun user-generated NASCAR quizzes, and also like how you can create and vote on different community polls. To join the NASCAR community, click the link in the description or in the pinned comment down below to download Amino for free on iOS and Android. Or you can download Amino by searching it up in your app store and then searching for NASCAR once you're in. You can find me there by searching for my username, Estepp17. I'll be replying to chats and engaging with followers on here, so be sure to join and say hi. Thanks again to Amino for sponsoring this episode. I've got something new in store today. Today I'm going to be grading pretty much every NASCAR Cup Series driver's 2018 season. You know, A, B, C, D, F. I think you guys get it. Should be fun. It's gonna be pretty rapid fire, so let's get to it. Going in no particular order, we'll start with Austin Dillon. You know, winning the Daytona 500 can make a lot of teams' season, and Austin Dillon has emerged as RCR's leader. B+. 3 wins is pretty good for Brad Keselowski, but an early playoff exit is pretty disappointing given that he made the Final Four last year. C+. Bad year for Ryan Newman, really not good. At least he is switching teams next year, and he's probably gonna need that change of scenery. He had 0 top 5s this year. Ugh. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. just missed out on the playoffs this year. Unfortunately for him though, the only thing we're gonna remember was the disaster he caused at Daytona over the summer. C-. William Byron was a rookie in a bad car. You know, I didn't really expect much. You know, at least he did win Rookie of the Year, I guess as a consolation prize. Still gonna just give him a D though. Jamie McMurray was never better than 17th in points at any point this season. He gets an F. I mean, he made the playoffs last year. Now this year, he's out of a ride. Chase Elliott has finally emerged as the star NASCAR needs him to be. 3 wins and another deep playoff run. 2019 could be the start of the Chase Elliott era. A-. Matt DiBenedetto's stats weren't good or anything, but his off-the-track work was impressive. He's landed a ride with Levine Family Racing for next year, which is going to be a JGR satellite team. Could be big things ahead for Matty D. Denny Hamlin was eliminated from the playoffs early, somehow made Chase Elliott fans even angrier, and didn't win a single race all year. First time in his career he has not won a race. Rough year for Denny Hamlin, I'll give him a D. Kevin Harvick again in the championship 4, 8 wins on the season. Tough to call this year a disappointment, but you still feel like you left a little out there. A-. D- for Trevor Bayne. It's long past midnight for this Cinderella story. Forgettable year for Paul Menard. I mean, seriously. Luckily, he's still got the money, so he'll be lurking for a few more years, probably. First year for Bowman in a decent car, and he definitely overachieved. I mean, I know he didn't have any wins, but to make it to the round of 12 is a big accomplishment. I'm excited for 2019 and 2020 Alex Bowman. Danica Patrick ran 1 race and had 1 DNF. Well, at least she tied Jimmy Johnson in wins this year. Given that Clint Bowyer completely missed the playoffs last season, this was a pretty great year. 2 wins and a pretty deep playoff run. Yeah, I'll give him a B+ for that. Ty Dillon, I'll give him a D because he did finally get that first top 10 of his career. Matt Kenseth finished strong, but probably should have just stayed home this year. Gotta give Allmendinger an F. Another rough year for the Dinger, man, and now he's being kicked out of his ride. I expected Daniel Suarez to make the playoffs this season. I think a lot of fans thought he'd make the playoffs, and he didn't. You know, things are looking up though. He could nab that 41 for next year. Last year, driving for the Wood brothers, Ryan Blaney had 1 win and made it to the round of 8. This year, driving for Penske, he had 1 win and only made it to the round of 12. I'm gonna give him a C+ because I expected more improvement, and Blaney basically stayed the same. Aric Almirola's career was dead, running in the 20s for a mediocre team, but here he is, first year in a competitive car, gets a win, deep playoff run, huge breakout year, A+ all around for Almirola. Kyle Busch, 8 wins, the best average finish the driver's had since 2007, and yet he just laid an egg at Homestead. What can you say? Honestly, it's a B+. Disappointing finish to what was an otherwise superb season. I didn't expect much from Bubba this season, you know, rookie year, not a very good car, but somehow that team still let me down. They peaked on February 18th, 2018, and basically just looked worse and worse as the year went on. Martin Truex Jr., you know, it's tough to go back-to-back winning the championship, but this team came about as close as possible. I mean, literally they came as close as possible. They finished 2nd in the championship race. I'll give an A- because the season wasn't great. I mean, their team is closing down at the end of the season, and I tend to believe that that might have played a factor in them coming up just short for the championship. I'm gonna give Kurt Busch a B for bittersweet. You know, good season for Kurt Busch. Got that tough win at Bristol, made it deep into the playoffs. However, it looks like his time at SHR is done, and unfortunately, it looks like the best years of his career are likely behind him. So, kind of a bittersweet end to this year for Kurt. Kyle Larson was one of the most disappointing performers this season. After emerging last year as a true contender with 4 wins, this year he laid a big old goose egg and couldn't make it past the round of 12 in the playoffs. Really disappointing year for Kyle Larson. I'll give Erik Jones a B-. His first year at JGR went about as expected. You know, got a win, made the playoffs, not too shabby, and especially considering that several young drivers like Larson, Blaney, Suarez kind of took a step backwards, I think Jones should be pretty happy with how this season played out. Joey Logano finally got himself that Cup Series championship after coming so close several times the last few years. Given that he didn't even make the playoffs in 2017, I don't see how you couldn't give him an A+. Jimmie Johnson, easily the biggest disappointment this season. 0 wins, first round playoff exit, only 40 laps led. Now his lifelong sponsor, Lowe's, is leaving, and now he's splitting up with his lifelong crew chief, Chad Knaus. Even when Hendrick started to look better over the summer, Jimmie Johnson didn't have a single top 5. In fact, he only had 2 top 5s all season long. I have to give him an F for this season, but hopefully him and his new sponsor can turn things around next year, but they're gonna have to work pretty hard. And that will do it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed hearing all those. Hopefully you had some fun with that. Let me know what you guys think. Did I judge anyone too harshly? Was I too nice to anybody? Let me know what you guys think down below. What kind of grades would you give Jimmie Johnson, Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano? I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, everyone. As always, you can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram. Continue the conversation over there. Or you can support me on Patreon like Michael Harrison, Cameron James, Tice Moore, and the rest of these amazing Patreon supporters. Thank you all so much. You too can be a supporter. If you check out that top link down below, you can learn how. And then of course, thank you to Amino for sponsoring. Remember to check out those links in the description and in the comments down below. Thanks to them for actually sponsoring this episode of Out of the Groove. I greatly appreciate it. That's all for me. I'll be taking a couple days off for Thanksgiving, so a happy Thanksgiving to all of you who celebrate it. And then I'll be back at it probably by this weekend with more videos. You know, I know it's the NASCAR off season, but I have tons of NASCAR videos coming up. I still have some 2018 year in review type things to look at, and I think those will be fun for everyone to watch. So hopefully you're looking forward to those. I'll see you guys again really, really soon. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and I'll talk to you again afterwards. See y'all.